इसको बंद कर दो। ओके, थैंक यू, थैंक यू। So, welcome. We start with the block 2.
Yes, sir.
You are all able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, first order predicate logic that we did briefly. Let us repeat it again. So, we'll study the first order predicate logic, FOPL, and then we'll go to other aspects of this. Okay. So, then we'll start with the previous unit. We discussed every man is mortal. Raman is a man, hence he is mortal. So this is a almost representing the following statement is now P is every man is mortal, Q is Raman is a man, and Raman is mortal. So R gives this. This is the PQR are available with us and absolutely no link or connection to the original statement or to the other. So this is a important thing. First order predicate logic takes this as normal statements. So PQR, these are the capital words which are used for these purposes. Okay, the symbolic system of FOPL treats an atomic statement not as an individual, but rather FOPL not treat as a uh, atomic statement divisible into subjects and predicate, but even further deeper structure of an atomic statement is considered in order to handle large class of argument. So let us see how it is done. So after studying this unit, this is what you will be able to get. Syntax of first order predicate logic. This is, we learnt about the concept of propositions in artificial intelligence in unit 4 of block 1. We studied it, propositions in this. Now it is time to understand the difference between the proposition and predicate. What is the proposition and what is the predicate? So, this is E, ulta E is a symbol used for existential quantifier, and this V with the middle is used for universal quantifier. This is essential, this is universal. So let us consider this. Proposition function or predicate in a variable x is sentence px involving x that become proposition when we give x a definite value from the set of value it can take. We usually denote such function of px, q, etc. The set value x can take any universal course. So for example, px, x is greater than 5. When px is not a proposition, but when we give x particular value, say x is equal to 6 or x is equal to 0, then we get proposition. Here p6 is a true proposition and po is a false proposition. P6 is a true proposition, okay, and PO is a false proposition. So now we know difference between true proposition and false proposition. That a predicate is usually not a proposition, but of course every proposition is a proportional function, prepositional function, in the same way that every real number is a real values function. That's what is this. We use symbols E ulta and V positive for this and all that we have talked about already. This U is the set of the all the children, PX is the sentence, X is the class, and U is the set of all children. Now suppose we take the negative of proposition we have just stated. Wouldn't it be there is no child in the class? We could symbolize this as for all x in U, QX, where X range over all children and QX denote the sentence X is not in the class. So QX is equal to not PX. So that the comes up the proposition mathematical symbols again for the quantifier all which is there. For example, this is the symbol for all. So all X exponential U. This. An example of the use of exponential quantifier is the true statement. This is the true statement. So similarly, this of exponential X R this there is a exist X in R for which X is X plus 1 is greater than 0. Another example of the false statement is this one where X is half X minus X minus half is equal to 0. So these are the is equal to the these are the example of false and this. In order to FOPL extend proposition logic, it is again discussed earlier. Every man is mortal, Raman is a man, hence he is mortal. So that's what says. Let us use the notation. So notation में क्या होता है? In is man, IL is a mortal. In view of notation, the argument on paraphrasing becomes for all X, if in X, then ILX in Raman, hence EL Raman. So here, more generally, relations of the form greater than XY denote the phrase X is greater than Y is brother of XY denoting X is brother of Y between XYZ denoting the phrase that X lies between Y and Z. That means age is between Y and Z and brothers are this and all that. That type of things were there. So these are the things which are talked about this. So now you can say a function symbols can be there. Love, father, Mohan and Mohan. So that is the statement Mohan's father loves Mohan can be symbolized as love, father within bracket Mohan, Mohan. So father of Mohan loves Mohan. So that's what this one says. Father of Mohan loves Mohan. That's the type of thing which is there. So like Ram Mohan, like XY, Ram likes Mohan. Ram like Ram Mohan. Ram likes Mohan. So this is the like is the symbol which says Ram Mohan. Ram likes Mohan. Similarly here, father of Mohan loves Mohan. Similarly here, like Ram Mohan and love Father Mohan Mohan are atomic statement of predicate logic in the sense that one can associate a truth statement and all that. So that type of things are there. Summarizing the up discussion, like Ram Mohan and love Father Mohan Mohan are the atoms which are greater. Love and like are the predicate symbols. X, Y are the variable, and three Ram and Mohan are constant, and father and product are function symbols. So these are the now definitions of all the symbols, constants, and all that. Individual symbols of constant symbol, these are usually names of objects such as Ram, Mohan, number, like, 3, 5. Variable symbol, these are usually lowercase unscripted or subscripted letters like X, Y, Z. So function symbols, these are usually lowercase letter like F, G, H. And predicate symbols are capital letter P, Q, R. So are the string of lowercase letter such as greater than, is, tall, etc. These are the predicate symbols. So you now see all the individual symbols, variable symbol, function symbol, and predicate symbol. So a variable is a term, a constant is a term, and so on, so forth. You can see that. So there exists a number that is rational. Every rational number is real number. For every number x, there exists a number y which is greater than x. So let us denote x as a rational number, qx. X is a real number for by Rx, and X is less than Y by this. Then the above statement may be symbolized respectively as execute X, QX, all X, QX, RX, all X, executial Y less XY. Each of the expression 1, 2, 3 is called formula or well-formed formula. So these are the, from atomic properties, you come to the well-formed formulas. So these are the well-formed formulas. All these three statements are well-formed formulas. So now you have, the questions could be make a well-formed formula from the statement and all that. That's what you will have to look into it. Okay. Now comes semantic and quantifiers. So these are the E is a symbol used for that we have talked about this, repeating this, mathematical symbols, all X and QX, all X and this. So that type of thing, X, only X and X minus 1 is equal to 0, which is read as this. This is a n for which there exists an X in n for which X minus half is equal to 0. So these are the things which we have talked earlier also. Now we are talking about it. Scope of the recurrence of quantifiers and all these things. The quantifiers हमने define नहीं करा था. Let me go back to the quantifiers. Uh, Proposition for predicate. Ah, scope of an occurrence of quantifier is the smallest but complete formula following the quantifier, sometimes delimited by pair f parenthesis. For example, Qx is a scope of executional x in the formula, execute only x, Qx, Pxy. So that shows, but the scope of only x is the formula only x, xy, pxy is this. So this is the ultimately qx depends upon qx implies pxy. You know that this is the implied statement and all that. Those are symbol you should remember, imply, only x, and all x, that is v with the middle line and all that, and ulta e is only x and all that, execution x. Okay, so this is the formula they said that you could quantify. So an occurrence of variable in a formula is bound if and only if the occurrence is within the scope of quantifier implying the variables or the occurrence is the quantifier. An occurrence of variable in a formula is free if and only if the occurrence of variable is not bound. So these are the all the things which are there. So examples are there. Say x square dx is equal to this. So that is what renaming it's a normal integration, but it is being given between 2 and 3 and all that. So that type of thing. So well-formed formula, an atomic formula is well-formed formula. If E and G are well-formed formula, then each of not E, E and G, E or G, E implied G, E double implied G is a well-formed formula. So these are all the definitions of the well-formed formula. Uh, Translate the statement that you can see this. For every number, there is one and only one immediate successor. There is no number for which zero is the immediate successor. For every number other than zero, there is only one immediate predecessor. So all these are things. Inequalities holds in general. So that is, for example, for all x, px and qx not equal to all x, px and all x qx. So that type of thing, which is then second is only x px A or sorry, px or qx. These are qx, but here it is and e. So that type of thing. We justify 3 and 4 below. So this is the justification given. You can read this and say even number this that. So all these examples are there. You can look up at this so that you can find out that. So next comes inferences and entailment in uh, first order predicate logics and all that. So for, we discussed 8 inferences rules of proposition logic in previous units and discussed this quantifier rule we discussed and all that. So every man is mortal. Again, same example we are trying. So this is all x, mortal x, man, Raman, mortal Raman. Instead of I, we were given man, Raman, mortal Raman, which is a formula of proposition logic also. So that is what they say. Modus ponens is that second and fourth is proposition logic. We would have obtained mortal Raman from this. That is, from this we will have mortal Raman because man is mortal, so Raman is mortal. So that's where it comes up. So then comes the universal instantiation rule: all x px about pi. So that's is a where is an a arbitrary constant. The rule states for all x px is true, then we can assume PA is true for any constant A, where A constant A is like Raman or Raman's father, this and all these things. So, okay, PA of proposition logic to a formula all x px of FOPL. So that's what is the general consideration there. Then the universal generation rule is PA for all x px. So this is again the rule says that if it is known that for all constant a the statement pa is true, then we can instead use the formula all x px. So that's type of thing. The rule associate with the set of formula pa for all x for proposition logic formula this is okay. Before using the rule, we must ensure that PA is true for all A, otherwise, it may lead to wrong conclusion. Then we are talking of existential only X. So only X, PX upon PA, because this is existential X, between only X, PX or this. This is rule says task only X, PX is known, then we can assume truth PA for some fixed value. So that's why the rule again associate formula PA of proposition logic to formula all X PX of FOPL. So this is type of thing which again then come existential generalized rules. PA only X PX. So these rules say that PA a formula of proposition logic true, then the truth only x px is formula of a pair may be assumed to be true. So, so these are the all the formulas given, and you can see that that type of thing which are used in the examples and all that. Conceptualization, nomenclature, this you can read it. Example, you can read it. You can see that uh, all these things are there. For example, you can see, let us symbolize the statement in the given argument as follows: X is juvenile, X common minor offense, X is thrown into prison, X is exposed to hardened criminal, X becomes bitter, X learns this. These are the type of things where there. So X is a menace to society. The statement for this may be translated just like this. Okay, so this is what first. Therefore, then we say that x, gx, and cx and mx. ये mx x is a menace for society हो गया. This is a menace for society हो गया. And c is a commit minor offense. If minor offense, JX is X is juvenile. So your young person is there. So then by simplification, one becomes this and this, and then you go for this, and ultimately modus ponens for this you get and start. This is the from this you get this. So that's the type of thing which happen. So again, you can see this example. Quantifier is not in general committed. So उसका example भी देख लीजिए. So this is what you say. Okay. Now conversion to clausal form. So that's the how do you convert it to the phonics for normal form PNF. And there is a formula G in FOPL is said to be in prenex normal form if and only if the formula G is in the form Q1 X1 Qn Xn or Q1 X1 Q1 Qn Xn P. So there's the example of some formula is predex formula X, only X all Y or XY or Q by. So then you can see this is sent to S by and so on. So these are the things which you can consider as important thing. All X, all Y, only X, PXY are Z. So that type of thing, which is an example of some formula, is the prenex normal form. These are the prenex normal formulas. You can see that there are examples given. Then comes Scholmanization, is a further refinement of PNF called Scholmanization. This basis of problem solving through resolution method. The resolution method we discuss next. The standard form of the formula FOPL is obtained through the following three steps. The given formula should be converted to PNF, then convert the matrix of the PNF, that is quantify free part of the PN into conjunctive part, and columnize, eliminate the ex- only existential quantifier using column constant and function. Before illustrating the process of conversion of formula of FOL to standard normal form, through example, we discussed briefly column function. क्या होता है? We in general mentioned earlier that only x all y pxy is all y only x pxy. So that's why I say, for example, pxy stands for the relation x and greater than y in the set integer. That left hand side equality above state some fixed integer x is greater than all integer y. So that type of thing. The statement is false. On the other hand, right hand side of the equality states for each integer y, there is an integer s so that x is greater than y. The statement is true. So that type of thing which we can see there. So therefore, that type of thing. So left hand side, right hand side, you can see that type of thing. So applying this column is called column standard form are just standard form. We explain through example this columnar process after PNF and CNF have been already been obtained. Column in the following. This इसको क्या करना solution इसका दिया हुआ है. So all this you can see that. So that is the column standard form is this. So that is what all y, all y2, y3, PEC, y1, y2, y3, and so on. So that type of thing comes. Resolution and unification. This also you can read instead of giving formal definition of substitution, unification, unifier, most general unifier, and resolvent. So this is the let's consider this is Raman is immortal from the following two statements. Every man is mortal and Raman is man. So using the notation man X, X is the man, material mortal X, X is mortal, the mortal Raman. Flow this, that, all this process is being shown here. How do you ultimately come out that the Raman is immortal? Lord Krishna, let us use the symbol XY uh, lower y, and y is allowed by this lk Lord Krishna, then the given problem is formalized as all only y, love xy, love x Lord Krishna. So that type of thing which comes up here. So all x only y, love xy. So love x, y is replaced by love Krishna, because y x, it's y is singular. Lord Krishna is a singular. So that's why x y is a singular. So it has become Lord Krishna. So that you can see that it's a symbol which was there. Resolve 5 and 6 and then continue this process. So you will see a lot of examples are there. So that provides the summary. So there are other examples which are given in this. You can read it. Rich and Knight's book is old, this, but now lot of other books, 2001, and uh, then that is Kopi and Cohen. There is the Patterson's book, Introduction to AI and Expert System. So these are the books which Rich and Knight is. I was very fond of this book because it was 93 and all that. So now I've covered Unit 5 quickly. Is it okay for you, or you want anything to be done again? Hello? You will read it?
Yes, sir.
So shall we continue with Unit 6?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a rule-based system, forward chaining, backward chaining, conflict resolution, semantic net, frame, script, summary, etc., etc. This. So computer science is the study of how to create models and all that. So that's what is where the expert system and knowledge-based systems are taken as synonymous. So that's what you will see that first order logic, semantic network, frames, scripts, and rule based system. So these are the things. Now let us say rule based system. We now chat planning is the process that explored the structure of the problem under consideration for designing a sequence of action in order to solve the problem under consideration. That is what that is the classical planning, non-classical planning, that you can see that. A rule based may be into the form of A is an animal and A barks, then A is dog. Rocky is animal, Rocky barks. So then the role interpreter, after scanning the above rule, may be concluded Rocky is a dog. So because Rocky is barking. If A is animal and A barks, then A is dog. Rocky is animal, Rocky barks, Rocky is a dog. So that's what is the forward chaining, backward chaining. Forward chaining system are, they start with the initial facts and keep using the rules to draw new this. Backward chaining is a system we start with some good statement which are intended to be established and keep going backward so that we come to the conclusion, setting new sub goals in the process and all that. So systems are primarily data driven while backward chaining systems are goal driven. क्योंकि बैकवर्ड चेन में गोल होता है, उसको गोल को बैकवर्ड लेके जाते हैं सो दैट यू कैन गेट इट, एंड दिस इज डेटा ड्रिवन. डेटा से आप राइट को मूव करते हो, उसको देखते हो डेटा से कैसे रिजल्ट आता है. So advantage of rule based system, the basic principle rule based system is that each rule is an independent piece of knowledge and in an if then rule. If this one there, then this is there. If you work hard, you will secure higher marks. If you work, you sleep, you will not get high marks. Something like that. Then part of the tell, the action is taken and all that. So advantage of the rule-based system, A basic principle rule-based system is that each rule is an independent piece of knowledge in an if-then rule. If parts contains all the conditions of the application of the rule under consideration, and then part takes all the action taken by the interpreter. Another important consequence of the above mentioned characteristics of a rule based system is that no rule can call upon any other, hence, rules are ignorant, hence, independent of each other. This gives a highly modular structure of the rule based system. Because of highly modular structure of the rule based system, addition, deletion, modification of rules. Disadvantage, the main problem with the rule based system is that when the rule base grows and becomes very large, then checking whether a new rule intended is to be added or redundant to the, so that becomes very difficult and all that. Let's first define working memory before we study forward and backward chaining. Working is a representative which lexically there are application specific symbol, structurally assertion or list of application specific symbol, semantically assertion denotes facts, and so on and so forth. Sources of uncertainty, two important sources are there. Theory of Devon may be vague or incomplete, so that method to generate exact or accurate knowledge are not known. Case data may be imprecise and undefinable, unreliable, and evidence may be missing this. So even though method to generate exact knowledge are known, but they are impractical due to lack or data imprecision of data or problem-related data collection. So rule-based deduction system developer often build some sort of certainty, and though you say this is probably this is true, probability of between 0 and 1, you talk about it. So in example discussed above, the assertion RAM at home may have a certain factor, say 0 to 7, 0.7 attached to this. In my scene, मैंने बताया था कि पहले जो first system was developed was mycene, which were talking about the blood rule and all that. If patient has symptom 1, 2, 3, 4, S1, S2, S3, S4, and certain background condition T1, T2, T3 hold, then the patient has disease D6 with certainty 0.75. So it doesn't say it is perfectly like this. It says it is up to 0.75 or zero point 0.8, zero point 0.7, zero point 0.5 and all that. So that type of thing. This is the a patient has S1, S2, S3 problem, क्रैश होता है, ब्लड में ये होता है, एंड सर्टन बैकग्राउंड कंडीशन उसकी है, तो उसमें ये सर्टनटी पेशेंट का ये 0.75 होता है. So it could be 0.6, 0.7. Anyway, something is given. Forward chaining system. In forward chaining system, the fact in the system are presented in working memory, which is continually updated. So condition action, antecedent constitution, adding or deleting, this all forward chaining, everything keeps on going like this. A rule is applicable if each of the literal this. When more than one rule is applicable, then same sort of external conflict resolution scheme is there. Rule-based system vary greatly in their details and syntax. Let us take the following example in this. For example, let us assume that the working memory initially is contain the following: day Monday at home RAM does not like RAM. So let the if day Monday, then add to working memory the fact working with RAM. If day Monday, then add to the working memory the fact talking to RAM. If talking to X and working with X, then add to working memory that fact is busy at work with X. If busy at work X or at office X, then add to the working memory the fact not at home X. If not at home X, then delete from working memory the fact the happy X. If working with X, then delete from working memory the fact doesn't like X. That is, doesn't like RAM. So therefore, it says working with RAM, day Monday, at home RAM, doesn't like RAM. So that type of thing. Talking to RAM, working with RAM, at home RAM, and all these things. That type of thing that goes on there. And ultimately, this is the solution. Not at home RAM, busy at home, work RAM, talking to RAM, working with RAM, day Monday, doesn't like RAM. The forward chaining will continue like this, but we have to be sure one thing that the ordering of the firing is important. A change in the ordering sequence of rule firing may result in a different working memory. So that similarly backward chaining आ जाता है इसमें फॉरवर्ड चेनिंग अप्रोच टू द मोस्ट यूजफुल वन इसमें वो बैकवर्ड चेनिंग में आ जाता है आप देखिए ये क्या है इफेक्ट राजा हैज हेयर राजा big mouth raja long pointed teeth raja claws raja so ye raja has claws raja has long pointed teeth so this is let us existing set of rules if given milk x then mammal x अगर वो दूध देता है then it's a mammal. If it has hair then it's a mammal. If mammal acts and eats meat then it's carnivorous and so on. It's carnivorous, cheetah, and this then ultimately so you say it a cheetah and all that. Now to start the process of information to backward chaining, the rule-based system will first form a hypothesis, then it will use the antecedent consequence rules, previously called condition action rule, to work backward towards hypothesis supporting. So let us take the hypothesis rather as the loin and then the reason about whether this hypothesis is variable or no. So that type of thing which is the system searches the rule and so on, it goes on for this and see that it is a lion or cheetah or Raja is the lion. So now, as the whole antecedent rule 8 is satisfied, and the system concludes that Raja is the lion. So that's where work it out. So that you start with the assumption lion, and then you see does it has all the properties in this. Has a long teeth, has a claws, and all these things is carnivorous, carnivorous. All these things are there. So, yeah, so that type of thing. कन्फ्लिक्ट रेजोल्यूशन इसी तरह है so that you can see this इसमें देख लीजिए if day Monday then add working memory the fact working with RAM if day Monday then add to working memory this and all these things you can see that now semantic net this is important semantic network represents provided structured knowledge representation. See, this is a representation is a pictorial depiction. ये देखिए strike last week in the garden. Who was it struck? Nita. With what knife, which is sharp, was struck? Who did it? Agent was Mohan. So Mohan struck last week at the garden Nita with sharp knife there. So that's why Mohan struck last week in the garden Nita with sharp knife. So that all are covered up into this. So this is a Mohan struck Nita in the garden with a sharp knife last week. Is represented in semantic network shown in figure this. So these are the semantic network you can always say. Frames. Frames are a variant of semantic network that are one of these things. So for example, say mammal, animal, warm blooded, yes, subclass mammal, carnivorous, medium, so instance lion, dull yellow, अमर circus circus में है lion and email so on so forth that's what they this is a we express knowledge about lion in frame this is the frames these are the frames and all that अब script आ गया you start semantic that type frame then comes script a script is structured representation describing stereotype sequence of event for example event trend to occur is known run of pattern. A causal relationship between events exists and entry conditions exist which allows an event to take place. A prerequisite exists upon event adding place, so on and so forth. So these are the things which are there. ये इशारा दिया हुआ है. So these are the describing script: attern, transfer of relationship; pattern, transfer physical location; propel, apply physical force in an object; move body part by honor, so on, so on. So you just give you this and all that. So these are the script for going to bank to withdraw money. Just a moment. Okay. So yeah, these are all the scripts for that. Script: withdraw money, bank, money, counter, form, this and all these things are there. Pitron, bank, this and all that. So all these things are. So this is again talk about Rich book and Patterson's book, so that you can see that. So that finishes our unit 2. You want to have a rest, or shall we start with unit 3 straightway? Probabilistic reasoning. Hello.
Take a break, sir. You have been continuously speaking, sir.
You want to have rest for 5 minutes?
Yes, sir. 5 minutes break, sir.
Okay. अरे इतनी मोटी. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Are we
सर आप
ready?
अपने बारे में कुछ बताइए ना सर पहले.
किसके बारे में?
आप अपने बारे में सर.
Okay. आप okay. Uh, I did my MSc from Punjab University,
ओके सर.
PhD from IIT Delhi,
ओह ग्रेट सर. किस क्या था सर पेपर आपका?
IIT Delhi.
हाँ आईआईटी दिल्ली. पीएचडी किसमें सर?
Eh?
पीएचडी सर इन व्हाट टॉपिक सर वो होता है ना सर?
Was on monsoon modeling.
मॉनसून मॉडलिंग सर.
Yeah.
ओह
I was with IMD.
ओके सर. ये 150 इयर्स वाले सर उसमें गए थे
एक
सर
मिनट
आप
सुनो.
इवेंट में?
Just listen to me carefully now. So we started learning computer as early as 1966, when we had our first IBM 1620 at IMD Bombay. Then I had the IBM 360. I was in charge of that system. Then I had the Cray supercomputer, the first supercomputer brought to India, at only supercomputer brought to India was Cray. That time I was in Department of Science and Technology, because IMD became part of the Department of Science and Technology. So I installed and did the weather forecasting on this. And today, the same supercomputer, senior higher order of supercomputers, with spending as much as 6,000 crores, is being at same building, which I purchased in 1992. I purchased Noida, 35 acres of land, 30 acres for the office and 5 acres for the residence. And that area is having the NCMRWF, National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting. I retired when then, and then I was head of that center. I retired and then started teaching computer science. I forgot meteorology, but started teaching computer science to the people of Delhi University, MCA, Indraprasth University, MTech and BTech, and then started a number of colleges, ComIT, RCIT, and Baba Bagh Singh University. I have been having large number of students doing PhD with me, who were computer sciences, but they worked on AI based system on meteorological forecasting. So I have 10 students who have done PhD with me. All these students who did PhD with me are senior professors in the various colleges and the universities. Okay, is that enough?
Yes, sir. Great, sir. Great to know you, sir.
Sir.
So you can see my biodata. Go to the Google, just check up Dr. Ratan K. Datta, you will find my biodata. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
And
Sir.
I started teaching AI to MCA of Delhi University, and started teaching SAD, system analysis and design, and for MTech students of Indraprasth University, also I started teaching AI and networking. Okay, these are the courses which I have been teaching.
Sir, Merit is your own institute, sir?
Merit is our institution of Muyal. Muyal is a community of 7 communities: Bali, Bhimbal, Shibbar, Datta, Law, Mohan, Vaid. These are the 7 community who have this. And it was started in 1999. And then I was the chairman of the committee of IGNO. 12 members committee was there, wherein we decided that IGNO can take BCA and MCA program. I was the chairman of the committee deciding BCA MCA program. I wanted theory and practical both should be compulsory, but since IGNO has a different rules for theory. They don't give any importance for because they don't give any percentage of attendance for theory, whereas they are giving attendance for the practicals. So that's it. But I had said even for theory there should be 75% attendance and all that, but that was not agreed because they have so many subjects and so many there, and BCA, MCA were only part of very small part. Now I find BCA, MCA is a big, there is a few thousand students all over the country, and even rest of the world is also having BCA, MCA. So, but that's it. There are BCA, MCA with the COVID, we started having online classes and all that, and now it has become you have MCA online, MCA offline. So we have both the things there. MCA offline, people do the practicals at Merit, and MCA online do the practicals online. So that type of thing there. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Last question. What is your age, sir?
What is my age?
Yes, sir.
Why do you want to know it?
Sir, we can get inspiration from you that at such an age you are working and
No,
writing.
you see my biodata, you will come back to it.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Or come to Merit, then I'll show you my age.
Okay, sir. We can start, sir.
Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
तो अगर सुपर कंप्यूटर मैं ना लाता तो यहाँ सुपर कंप्यूटर नहीं आता.
It's great to hear that, sir.
That is that is the because I there was SARC at that time, and when I wanted medium range weather forecasting and having with supercomputer, Bangladesh people said no, we want to have it centered there. So then I said, okay, you have it, I'll have it at IMD. IMD got approved that this, but then IMD was with the Ministry of Tourism and Civil Aviation changed over to Science and Technology. And Professor Jashpal, who was a good friend and all that, he liked it and he said, yes, we'll have supercomputer here. But by the time supercomputer things were getting approved, he became chairman UGC. Dr. Gwarikar came. And Dr. Gwarikar said, you come to DST and DST will have the center. So then it became a center of DST, with started at IMD, but then shifted over to Noida. Okay, that's the type of thing. All the best. Probabilistic reasoning. So you can see that these are the introduction, objective reasoning with uncertain information, review of probabilistic theory, introduction to Bayesian theory, Bayes network, probabilistic inferences, and all that. I don't. The unit is dedicated to probability theory and its uses in decision making. So that's a it's between 0 and 1. Probability is between 0 and 1. True or false, between true and false. And this is E1, and this is in zero, and this is there, and so on, so forth. Objective देख लीजिए, reasoning with uncertain information, because AI doesn't talk about the perfection. AI talk about the probability of this happening this much. It cannot say that it will happen. It says probability that 7.7 time it will happen, or 75% it will happen, or something like that. So these are the review of probability theory. So sample, space, event, you know, uh, trial, dice, the theory of dice, playing the dice. You throw the dice, you'll get one, you'll get head, or as you do it in the cricket, you toss the coin, either head or tail, and so on and so forth. How many times you'll have head, how many times you'll have tails, and that type of thing. That's the head and head and head tail, and all that. So these are the examples there. So all these things are there. So you can go through this, and then you may recall that a particular event happens, and then second event happen. So these are the type of things which are there. So let's now consider two events, E and F. We write EF, read E, union F. So this is E union F is denoted by the symbols, uh, where a symbol. So these are the E1, E2, etc., etc. Again, EF are two given event. We write E union F and E intersection F to denote this thing. So EF is equal to infinity. Two mutually excessive time. This is E. This is E. This is E, and this is F. So this is E union F. So this is the intersection between the two F. Whereas this is E, this is E, this is F, or this is the intersection of two each other. So this is the E union F. So 1B, the space inside the curve represented by the broken line represent the E union F, and the shaded portion represent E. This is E union F. Sorry, this is E union F. This is the ERF. ERF. This is E union F. So number of repetition, frequency of head, 0, 1 by 2, 2 by 3. So number of 3, 2 by 3, 4, 3 by 4, 3 by 5. So 6, अगर डाइस पर 6 आना है तो कितनी दफ़ा आ सकता है? पहली दफ़ा आ जाएगा तो दूसरी दफ़ा क्या? फर्स्ट चांस इज 1 by 6, ट्वाइस आने के लिए 2 by 6, and so on so forth. You can see. So the maximum score is 6, the total score is 9. Each throw results in an even score. Each throw results in an even score integer larger than 2. ये क्या है? Suppose a six-faced dice is thrown twice. Describe each of the following events. The maximum score is 6. ये सारे बताना है कैसे होता है. So therefore, the conditional probability and independent events. Let's sigma psi, the sample space corresponding to this, so that you can see that suppose E and F are such पहले आप ये देखिए, अगर इसको कहना है मैक्सिमम स्कोर इज 6, द टोटल स्कोर इज 9 एंड सो ऑन, वो कैसे करना है उसको डाइस के लिए, इसको डाइस को कैसे कैसे थ्रो करना है, हाउ लॉन्ग यू कैन डू इट, एंड सो व्हेन यू कैन सी एक EF 4 6 5 5 5 6 and all that. Suppose a pair of balanced dice A and B are rolled simultaneously so that each of the 36 possible outcome is equally likely to occur. Hence the hence the probability. Let E is the event that sum of the two scores is 10 and more or more, and F the event that exactly one of the two score is 5. That is 4 6 5 5 5 6 6 4 6 5 6 6, so that PE is 1 by 6, 6 by 36. This is 6. Similarly, here F, this is 1 5 2 5 3 5 4 5, because this is 5 here, 5 1 5 2 5 3 5 4 5 6. Now, suppose we are told that event F has taken place. Note that this is only partial information relating to the outcome of the experiment. Since each of the outcome originally had the same probability of occurring, they should still have equal probability. Thus, given that exactly one of the two score is 5, each of the 10 outcomes event F has probability, while the probability of remaining 26 point is due to space is simple 4. So this is type of thing which you can say table 2, event F, F star, E, and all these you can say that these are let E and F are two events from a simple this, that again you can say. So this is important is Bayesian theorem. Bayesian theory is Basic theory is widely used to calculate the conditional probability of event without a joint probability. It is also used to calculate the conditional probability where intuition fails. In simple terms, probability of a given hypothesis H conditional on E can be defined as PEH is equal to PH, and E upon PE where PE is greater than 0, and the term PH and E also exist. Here, P is referred to as probability function. To simplify, understand the Bayes theorem, have to look the following definition. Joint probability, this refers to the probability of two or more event PAB. Marginal, this PA or PB, PA by B, condition probability PA by B. S is a sample space where A1, A2, AN are mutually exclusive event in sample space S. Let B be an event from sample space S, provided PV is greater than 0. Then, according to Bayes' theorem, PAK by B is PAK union B divided by PA by union B plus PP. This all these things are there. This can also be written in Bayes' theorem. PAB is equal to this. So this is the Bayes' theorem. So Bayes' theorem becomes important probability functions for all these things. So this is the Bayes' theorem. PAB is equal to this, all this. PAB upon this, PB this upon this, so all these things. The probabilist models are being used in defining the relationship among variables and are used in calculating probability in the Bayes network. So let us now create a Bayesian network. So this is BAC. The corresponding graph is shown in figure 1. Here each random variable is represented as a node, and edges between nodes are a conditional probability. So these are the AC nodes. Figure here the random variable is represented as a node, and edges between nodes, these are the edges, these are the conditional probability. Then probability inference, again P upon F is equal to P E union F of P F. So similarly, F is number F upon N, and so on. So you can say basic idea of information with Bayes network. Bayes theorem, poverty, and Bayes network, that you can read it. Other paradigm of uncertain reasoning. Dempsey-Shaffer's theory is important. Multiple possibility events are permitted to assign probability. These events should be exhaustive and exclusive. Evidence: there are events related to one hypothesis and set of hypotheses. Here, a relation is not permitted between various pieces of evidence or set of hypotheses. Also, the relation between the set of hypotheses and the piece of evidence is only quantified by source of data in context of DS theory. So that is what the here you are talking about A, B, C, D, and all that. You can see that all these things are becoming uh, conditional sincerity. A, B, C, D, E, A, D, C, D, E, and all these things. These are separated, all that. The source of information can be entity or person giving some relevant state info. Here, the information source is non-biased source of information. The information received from such sources is combined to provide more reliable information for further use. The DS theory models are able to handle the varying precision and all that. A frame of discernment, इसमें देख लीजिए, that's the type of the belief function, plausibility functions, rule of combination. You can read it. It is that you can go through this. So this makes a unit 3, and then comes final unit is fuzzy and rough sets. Now, fuzzy logic, it was started by uh, fuzzy logic was started by a gentleman who came to India also, and he is no more now. But that is fuzzy logic became he when he wanted to submit the paper, it was not being published. But then he submitted the paper. Once it was published, there were 1,000 papers referring to that paper, so many papers. It became so popular that fuzzy logic became part of the AI because that's where fuzzy logic came. Okay. In the earlier unit, we discussed predicate logic and first order predicate logic system for making inferences and all that. In this unit, we discussed number of techniques and formalities. To begin with, we discussed the fuzzy system that attempt is to handle imprecision in knowledge. आप अगर कहिए कि person is tall, how tall? Khalil भी है tall, I am also tall, somebody else is also tall. So वो कैसे tall है? So that type of thing, 0.5%, 0.7%, 0.8, 0.8, 0.9, 0.1. So all this fuzzy logic is between 0 and 1. It talks about how much thing is this. So handle imprecision in knowledge basic, especially due to use of natural language words like hot, good, tall, etc. Non-monadic system which deal with indefiniteness of knowledge and all that. So it's based on belief of the concerned system. Incompetence, incompleteness, reasoning system, and classical word assumption system, abstract, all these things. So these are the things. But for the system is logic, this true or false. For example, consider the statement: if water is too hot and normal water is made it comfortable for taking bath. In the above statement, for a number of words, phrases including too hot, add comfortable, etc., it's not possible to tell when exactly water is too hot, when water is normal temperature, when exactly water is comfortable for taking a bath. So all you know this, water is too hot. How do you find that? So some other cases of fuzziness of natural languages, healthy person is fully healthy, even more difficult to tell what value of particular parameter one is healthy or otherwise. Old, younger. Now you ask my age. I am a young person or old person. No, age is a number. That don't worry about this. Sweet milk. कितना sweet है? How sweet it is? Gradually, pool. pond, lake, कौन सा बड़ा है? Ocean बड़ा है, sea बड़ा है, pole बड़ा है, this and all that. So, dinosaur, it has rained for a long period, say about 6 months. So I had to wait for the doctor for a long period, about 6 hours, and so on. So fuzzy theory becomes provide means to handle such situations. We explain how fuzzy system is used. So that type of thing is knowing exactly the distance various vehicle from the path to the following the crossover, knowing the velocities, using Newton's law of motion, all these things are there. So this is we human being rather feel comfortable with fuzziness than precision. We feel comfortable if the instructions of crossing road is given as follows: look on both your left and right, particularly in the beginning, to your right hand side, and there is no vehicle within reasonable distance, then attempt in to cross the road. You may have to retreat back while crossing from somewhere on the road, then try again, so on and so forth. The above instruction, this and all that. Achieving human capability, modeling solution and data information knowledge. Summarize the discussion, we conclude the following facts. We the human beings sense problem, desire the problem to be solved. We use computer to solve the problem. Computers function better when the information is given in the computer in terms of mathematical entities. Steps of solutions are generally this: in order to meet the mutually conflicting expression, imprecision of natural language with which the human beings are comfortable, precision of formal systems and all these things. So then concept of fuzzy, yeah, when applied prefix adjective to this, definitely tall if he is taller than 6 feet. Indian context we may say a male adult is definitely tall if his height is greater than 6 feet. Not at all tall if height is less than 5 feet. If his height is 5 feet, little bit tall. 5 feet 6 is slightly tall. 5 feet 9 inch, reasonably tall. Next step is to model definitely tall, not at all tall, little bit tall, and all that. So that is the what is the fuzziness of this. Definitely tall may be present at tallness having value 1. Not at all, 0. A little point, little bit tall, point 0.2. Slightly tall, point 0.4. Reasonably tall, point 0.7. So on, so forth. So that comes 5 feet 9 inch, 4 feet 8 inches, 5 feet 6 inches strictly. Then, had we talked only of crisp set of tall persons, we would have divided set of tall persons in the organization so on. But a fuzzy set tall person include all person along with respective degree of tallness. Thus, in terms of fuzzy sets, we write Mohan point 2, Mohan oblique point 2, Sohan oblique 1, John oblique point 7, Abdul oblique 0, Abraham point 0. So the values point 0.1, 1, 0.704 are called membership values or degree. These elements which have value 0 may be dropped. So 0 is no value there. So, so tall may also be written as tall is Mohan point 2, Sohan full tall, John point 7, Abraham point 7. So neglecting Abdul with the associate degree 0, if we define short diminutive as exactly appendage of the tall, we may say Mohan is point Mohan point 8, Sohan 0, John point 3, Abdul 1, Abraham 1, short. So these are the type of thing. So equality two sets 1435 4131. This A is equal to B, but C is not equal to B because C has a term 2 which is not there in A and B. So set A is equal to set B denoted by Z, but A is not equal to C denoted by this. A is not equal to this. A is equal to this, B is equal to this. So belong to and all that. So this is the so Mohan point 2 degree of membership, Mohan point 2, Sohan 1, John 7. This Mohan has a degree 2, John has a degree point 0.4. Equality first set, let ABC be fuzzy set defined. Mohan point two this, Ibrahim point four, Mohan point two, Sohan point, John सेवन. तो इसमें देखिए मोहन का पॉइंट टू है, ठीक है, सोहन का वन है, इसका जॉन का पॉइंट सेवन है, इब्राहिम का पॉइंट फोर है. दे आर दिस डिग्री इज जो दीज आर इक्वल. So A is equal to 0. However, if C is Ibrahim 2.2, Mohan point 4, Sohan point this, A is not equal to 0 because Ibrahim was not, Ibrahim was point 4 here, but it is point 2 here, so that's not correct. Where Mohan was point 2 here, but here it is point 4, so it is not correct. Sohan and Zohan are okay, but Mohan and Ibrahim are not correct, not same as in this. So therefore, A is not equal to C. So this is the set theories and all that. You can see that A is Mohan and all that. You can see A, B, C and all this. You can just compare. So that's the type of fuzzy set has become very important feature, and this is a fuzzy set representation that you can see this. All this is larger set and all that. Complementary one, fuzzy set. This you can just go through this. You will find this is okay. Uh, Mohan is point 0.5, uh, point 0.5, सोहन इज 0.9. तो नॉर्म करके उसको मोहन 0.5 0.9 से करते हैं, बिकॉज सोहन इज हाईएस्ट. सोहन वन, उसको 0.9 से करा है. जॉन इज 0.7 डिवाइड बाई 0.9. अब्दुल इज दिस 0.9 से ड्रॉप करके नॉर्म बन जाता है. तो सोहन has become 1 and also on this. If one of the member has value 1, then the norm A is equal to A, so on and so forth. Relation and fuzzy relations. So Mohan 43.7, Sohan 25.6, a set of living person, and B a set of members, age दिया हुआ है, and so on. Uncle, we may define the relation of uncle as follows. X is uncle of Y with degree 1 if X is brother of mother or father. Uncle of Y is zero point 0.7 if X is brother of an uncle of Y or C1 is not covered above. So that's if X is an uncle of Y with degree zero point 0.6, if X is the son of an uncle of mother or father, so on and so forth. So that's it. So Ram fuzzy graph बन जाता है ये. Ram, Johan points in all this Majid, Peter and all these things are there. So this is their fuzzy reasoning हो जाता है. Fuzzy reasoning is non-monotonic measuring system, definite reasoning system, closed word assumption system. So you can just go through this, you can read it. So that type of thing, which is well described here. So these are the diagram for that. You can see that. Idea default reasoning, closed words assumption, another mechanism of handling incompleteness of knowledge base is called KB is knowledge base. It's called closed words assumption. This mechanism is useful in application where most of the facts are known. So ground atoms, less this and all that. A closed burst is complete for each ground atom Pa. Either Pa or not Pa can be proved. So that example of an incomplete case, this is Pa, PV, Pa is QA, rule of modus ponens, P and Pa included this and all that. So fuzzy inferences, abductive inferences, P is to Q, Q to S, abductive inferences, then inductive reasoning, rough set theory. So rough set theory, you can just read this and all that. So that makes a covers up all the thing. So you can go through this. Fuzzy logic is basically came up as late as 1970, something like that. And this was by इसमें दिए नहीं है, उसका रेफरेंस नहीं दिया हुआ, is not given the reference of the book by the person who wrote this fuzzy system. So I'll just check up and let you know. Just a moment. You can go to Google and check up the name of the author of the fuzzy logic. That's the easiest. Go to Google and find out who is the author who started this fuzzy logic.
Lotfi AZA.
Eh?
Lotfi AZA.
Yeah, yes. So he died. He came to India also. He had a discussion with us and all that. But he is no more now. So he started when he wrote the first paper. It was not getting published. So he got it published, and then a lot of people came forward, and then AI also took it up and all that. So that finishes this. We will go for the database at 11 o'clock. So you can take some tea and breakfast or something, whatever you want to, and then we'll go for the next lecture at 11 o'clock. Okay? All right?
All right, sir.
Everybody, everybody is okay?
हाँ सर ठीक है 11 o'clock आएंगे
अच्छा, चलो, okay.